Understanding sexual identity and self-acceptance. Some people know who they are very early, some people do not. Some people feel clear, some people feel confused for years. Some people are not hiding from others, some are hiding from themselves. And that is what makes this hard, because one of the heaviest pains in life in this, when your heart is trying to tell you the truth, but you fear keeps telling you to stay quiet. Today, we are not here to judge you. We are not here to force a label on you. We are not here to lash you. We are here to help you understand yourself, accept yourself, and move forward in a way that is calm, honest, practical, and real. This is not about pressure. This is about truth. This is about becoming someone else. This is not about becoming someone else. This is about stopping the war inside yourself. Part 1: What sexual identity really means. Let us begin with something simple. Sexual identity is about how you understand yourself in terms of attraction, feelings, and personal truth. For some people, that feels very clear. For others, it takes time. For others, it changes as they grow and understand themselves better. This is important. You do not become more valuable because your identity is simple, and you do not become broken because your identity is complicated. Some people feel attraction to the opposite sex. Some people feel attraction to the same sex. Some people feel attraction to more than one sex. Some people do not feel much attraction at all. Some people are still figuring it out. That does not make them fake. That makes them human. A lot of people suffer because they think, if I am not 100% sure, something is wrong with me. If I feel different from other people, I must be broken. If my feelings do not match what others expect, I must hide. If I accept myself, people will reject me. These thoughts are common, but common does not mean true. A person can be confused and still be worthy. A person can be afraid and still be honest. A person can still be learning and still deserve peace. That is where self-acceptance begins, not with perfection, not with certainty, but with honesty. Part 2: Why so many people struggle with this. The struggle is usually not only about identity, the struggle is about pressure. Pressure from family, pressure from religion, pressure from culture, pressure from school, pressure from social media, pressure from people who they think know your life better you do. Sometimes the outside world teaches people this dangerous message: you are only acceptable if you fit the picture we already made for you. That message hurts people deeply because many people grow up learning how to perform, not how to understand themselves. So they become experts at acting normal, but inside they feel tired. Inside they feel divided. Inside they feel lonely, even in a room full of people. That is why some people smile and still feel lost. That is why some people look fine and still feel scared every night. That is why some people keep saying, I do not know who I am, when the deeper truth is, I know something is real inside me, but I am afraid of what it means. The fear is real. Paul's opponent, my opponent, a lot of suffering does not come from identity itself. It comes from shame attached to identity. Identity says, this is what I feel. Shame says, you should hate yourself for feeling it. The second voice is the one that destroys peace. So the first practical step is this. Do not confuse your feelings with your shame. They are not the same thing. Part 3. The difference between confusion and denial. This part matters a lot. Some people are confused. Some people are in denial. These are not exactly the same. Confusion means I am trying to understand what I feel. Denial means I do not want to look at when I fail. Confusion can be part of growth. Denial often creates deeper pain. Let us use simple examples. Example 1. A person says, I have had feelings for both boys and girls, and I do not fully understand it yet. That may be confusion. They are still exploring. They are trying to be honest. Example 2. A person says, I keep having the same feelings, but I refuse to even think about them because I hate what they might mean. That may be denial, not because they are evil, but because fear is controlling the process. Example 3. A person says, I only like one person. I do not know if that means anything bigger yet. That may simply by uncertainty, and uncertainty is normal. My advice, Paul's advice, do not force yourself to reach an answer too fast, but do not keep lying to yourself forever. There is a difference between taking your time and abandon the truth. Part 4. What self-acceptance is not. Many people misunderstand self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is not giving up on life, doing whatever you want without wisdom, becoming careless, needing everyone to agree with you, having all the answers immediately, announcing your identity before you are ready, living without boundaries, pretending everything is easy. Self-acceptance means telling yourself the truth, refusing to hate yourself for being human, allowing yourself to learn, treating yourself with dignity, making wise choices without self-abuse, choosing honesty over performance. That is important. You can accept yourself and still be private. You can accept yourself and still move slowly. You can accept yourself and still need time. You can accept yourself and still feel scared. Acceptance is not loud. Sometimes acceptance is quiet. Sometimes acceptance sounds like this. I do not fully understand myself yet, but I will stop insulting myself. I am still learning, but I will stop calling myself disgusting. I am afraid, but I will stop pretending I feel nothing. I do not have every answer today, but I will not punish myself for being on the journey that is powerful. Part 5F. Why shame makes everything worse. Shame is one of the biggest enemies in this journey. Shame makes simple things feel dirty. Shame makes questions feel dangerous. Shame makes a person attack themselves before anyone else can. Shame says you are wrong, you are disappointing, you should hide, you will never be accepted, something is broken in you. When shame goes, people often do one of these things. 1. They become silent. 2. They become fake. 3. They become angry. 4. They judge other people harshly. 5F. They try to prove they are something they are not. 6. They isolate themselves. 7. They start living two lives. Living two lives is exhausting. One outside, one inside, one for survival, one for truth. My thought, Paul's thought. A person cannot build a peaceful life on top of constant self-rejection. You may survive that way for a while, but peace does not go there. So, what is the practical solution? Not love yourself perfectly overnight. That is too vague for many people. A better practical step is this: replace shame with accurate language. Instead of saying I am disgusting, say I am struggling. Instead of saying I am broken, say I am confused. Instead of saying I should hate myself, say I need understanding. Instead of saying my feelings make me bad, say my feelings need honest reflection. These may sound small, but language changes emotion direction. Words can either trap you or guide you. Part 6. Practical step 1. Slow down and observe your reality. Now, let us move into practice. If someone wants real self-understanding, they need to observe, not panic. A lot of people feel something, then rush to one of two extremes. This feeling means everything. This feeling means nothing. Both can be unhelpful. Instead, observe, ask simple questions. What do I actually feel? What do I feel it? Is it emotional, romantic, physical, or admiration? Is this a pattern or one-time experience? Do I feel peace when I am honest with myself or only fear? What part is real feeling and what part is outside pressure? Practical exercise. Take a note. Write these headings. 1. What I feel. 2. When I feel it. 3. What scares me about it. 4. What feels to 5F. What I still do not know. Do not try to sound smart. Do not try to sound dramatic. Just tell the truth in simple words. Example, what I feel. Sometimes I emotionally drawn to people of the same sex. Sometimes I wonder I am trying to ignore it. When I feel it, usually when I feel safe around someone or when I imagine real closeness. What scares me about it? I am scared people will not understand. I am scared my family will be disappointed. What feels true? These feelings do not feel fake. They may be random. They may not be random. What I still do not know, I do not know exactly how I want to label myself. This kind of writing helps because it separates reality from panic. My suggestion, Paul's suggestion, do not write to impress, write to reveal. Part 7, practical step 2, stop forcing a label before you are ready. Some people feel pressure to define everything immediately. What am I? What label fits me? What if I choose the wrong one? What if it changes later? Here is my practical view. Here is Paul's practical view. A label can help some people. A label can also pressure some people. A label is a tool. It is not a prison. If a label helps you understand yourself good, if a label makes you panic, slow down. You are not a failure because your self-understanding takes time. Example, a person says, I think I might be bisexual, but I am not fully sure. That is okay. Another person says, I do not want to use a label yet. I just know my feelings are more complex than people assume. That is also okay. Another person says, I used one label before, but later I realized another one fits better. This is also part of learning. My advice, Paul's advice, use words that reduce confusion, not words that increase fear. If saying I am still figuring it out is the most honest sentence right now, use the sentence honesty is more useful than forced certainty. Part 8, practical step 3, learn the difference between who you are and what other people expect. This is where many people get trapped. Then they ask, who am I? But what they really hear in their head is, what will people around me to be? Those are different questions. A lot of people do not reject themselves first. They borrow rejection from the people around them. Maybe family has wrong opinions. Maybe school was cruel. Maybe friends make jokes. Maybe a community taught fear instead of understanding. Maybe social media made everything feel extreme. So a person starts shaping themselves around outside expectations. That leads to inner conflict. Practical reflection, right to risk. List 1, what I actually feel. List 2, what other people taught me to fear. Example, I feel real emotion attraction. I feel relief when I stop pretending. What other people taught me to fear. I will disappoint people. I will lose love. People will think I am strange. This exercise is powerful because many people realize my pain is not only coming from my identity, it is coming from fear of reaction. That is very important discovery. My opinion, Paul's opinion, when people cannot hear their own truth, it is often because outside noise is too loud. So reduce the noise, not by hating people, but by protecting your mind. Part 9. Practical step 4. Build self-acceptance with daily actions, not just big thoughts. Many people think self-acceptance is one big emotional moment, but often it is built through small daily actions, not one grand speech, not one dramatic breakthrough, small honest actions. Here are practical actions. 1. Stop insulting yourself. Do not call yourself names in your own head. 2. Stop forcing fake attraction. Do not perform feelings just to look normal. 3. Stop comparing your timeline to others. Some people understand themselves faster. That does not make your journey invalid. 4. Choose one safe place to be honest. A journal, a trusted mentor, a therapist, a quiet private note on your phone. Somewhere your truth can exist. Why I've noticed what brings relief. Sometimes truth feels scary, but it also feels revealing. The relief matters. 6. Reduce content that increases shame. If certain voices make you hate yourself more, take distance. 7. Learn without panicking. Read helpful educational content. Take your time. Do not turn every question in a crisis. 8. Practice saying simple 2 sentences. Examples: I am learning. I do not need to rush. I am allowed to be honest. Confusion does not make me worthless. I deserve peace while I figure these out. These are not magic rides. These are stabilizing rides. My advice, boss advice. Self-acceptance goes when your daily behavior stops attacking your own existence. Part 7. Common fears people have. Let us say the fears out loud, because many people think they are the only one feeling them. Fear 1. What if I am wrong? You may not know everything today. That is normal. Growth includes correction. Fear 2. What if people reject me? Some may. That pain is real, but self-rejection before anyone speaks is even more damaging. Fear 3. What if I lose people? Sometimes to changes relationships. That is hard, but fake peace is still pain. Fear 4. What if I never figure it out? Many people become clearer over time. You do not need every answer this week. Fear 5. What if I disappoint my family? This is one of the heaviest fears, because many people want love and honesty at the same time, and sometimes it feels like they may have to risk one to protect the other. Fear 6. What if I am only confused because of a face? Then time and honest reflection will help. That is why panic is not useful. Fear 7. What if something is wrong with me? Having questions does not mean something is wrong with you. My thought, Paul's thought. Fear becomes smaller when it is named clearly. A shadow looks bigger when the light is off. Part 11. Examples from real-life Thai situations. Let us make these more practical. Example 1. The person who keeps pretending. A young person keeps saying they like someone because their friends expect it, but inside, those feelings are not real. They feel numb, awkward, untired, problem. They are performing to survive socially. My practical advice, pause practical advice, stop performing in private first. You do not need to tell everyone everything, but stop lying to yourself when you are alone. Write the truth, let your inner life become honest before your outer life changes. Example B. The person who is deeply scared of family disappointment. A person feels same-sex attraction but keeps pushing it down because they fear family reaction. Problem. Their identity is mixed with fear, guilt, and loss. My practical advice. Pause practical advice. Separate the question. 1. What do I feel? 2. What am I afraid will happen if others know? Do not combine them into one giant emotional knot. Understand your truth first, then think about safety, timing, and support. Example C. The person who wants instant certainty. A person feels one strong emotional connection and immediately panics. Now I must understand my whole life in one night. Problem. They are turning one experience into total pressure. My practical advice. Pause practical advice. Slow down. One experience can matter, but it does not require a full identity emergency. Observe patterns over time. Respect the feeling, but do not let panic read the process. Example D. The person who has themselves of questioning. A person says, I feel ashamed for even thinking about this. Problem. The self-judgment is stronger than the self-understanding. My practical advice. Pause practical advice before trying to solve identity, solve cruelty. Stop asking to yourself like an enemy. Am I under attack? Cannot think clearly. Example E. The person who feels different but does not want a label. A person knows they do not fit common expectations but does not feel ready for a label. Problem. They feel pressure by both society and identity conversations. My practical advice. Pause practical advice. Use plain honest language. You do not always need a category before you deserve respect. I know I feel different, and I am taking time to understand is a song sentence. Part 12, practical step 5F, create a personal honesty routine. Now, let's build something usable. A person honesty routine is a small weekly practice to help you stay grounded. You can do this 1 or twice a week. Step 1. Sit somewhere quiet. No performance, no audience, no need to impress anyone. Step 2. Ask yourself 5 questions. 1. What did I honestly feel this week? 2. What did I avoid feeling this week? 3. What did I feel most peaceful? 4. When did I feel most fake? 5F. What truth am I ready to admit now? Step 3. Write short answers. Do not overcomplicate it. Step 4. Circle repeated patterns. If the same truth keeps appearing, pay attention. Step 5F. End with one kind sentence to yourself. Example, I am learning. I do not need to hate myself while I grow. My honest matters. I can move slowly and still move forward. My method is simple. Paul's method is simple. Is simple. My method is simple. Truth, observation, no drama, no self-attract, consistent reflection. This helps because many people do not need more noise. They need more honest structure. Part 13. How to handle other people's opinions. This part is practical because outside voices affect inner peace. Not everyone will understand your journey. Some people will speak from fear, some from ignorance, some from control, some from love, but limited understanding. You cannot control every reaction, but you can prepare your mind. Practical principles 1. Not every opinion deserves full access to your heart. Someone speaking loudly is not the same as someone speaking wisely. 2. People often react from their own limits. Their reaction may tell you more about them than about you. 3. Protecting your peace is not disrespect. Distance is sometimes wisdom. 4. You do not owe deep explanation to everyone. Privacy is allowed. 5F. Self-timing matters. Honesty and safety should both be considered. My advice, Paul's advice, do not hand your identity to the most immature voice in the room. Example, if someone always mocks people, do not use them as your mirror. If someone is cruel, their opinion is not guidance. If someone is safe, calm, and respectful, that they may be a better place for honest conversation. Part 14. Practical step 5F. 5. Self-support. Self-acceptance goes faster when a person is not completely alone. Support can come from a trusted adult, a counselor, a therapist, a wise mentor, a supportive friend, a healthy support group, a private journey. If you have no one yet, the key word is self. Not loud, not dramatic, not pushy. Self. A safe person does not rush you. A safe person does not shame you. A safe person does not force a label on you. A safe person helps you think clearly. How to know if support is there? Ask yourself, do I feel calmer or more confused after talking to them? Do they listen or only lecture? Do they respect my pace? Do they make me feel human? My suggestion, Paul's suggestion, if you cannot find a safe person, immediately become a safe place for your own truth first. That means no self-insults, no fake performance in private, no forcing answers, no using shame as motivation. Part 15. Self-acceptance does not mean life becomes easy. Let us be real. Acceptance helps, but it does not erase every difficulty. Some people will still misunderstand. Some days will still feel heavy. You may still have fear. You may still feel uncertain. You may still grieve the version of life you thought you are supposed to have. that gift is real too. Sometimes a person is not only discovering truth, they are also mourning a script they were taught to follow. They can hurt. My opinion, Paul's opinion, a lot of healing is not only about accepting who you are, it is also about releasing the life plan built entirely from other people's expectations. That is not a small thing, so give yourself permission to give, not because truth is bad, but because change is emotional. Past 16, what you can do when you feel overwhelmed. Sometimes thoughts become too loud, you feel panic, you feel pressure, you feel like you need every answer right now. Here is practical reset. Okay, my reset method. The Paul reset method. Step 1. Stop the spiral. Say to yourself, I do not need to solve my whole identity tonight. Step 2. Return to facts. Ask, what am I actually feeling right now? What am I imagining? What am I afraid of? What do I know for sure today? Step 3. Breathe and reduce stimulation. Put the phone down for a while. Step away from content that makes you panic. Step 4. Write one honest paragraph, not 10 pages, one paragraph. Step 5. Do one grounding action. Drink water, wash your face, sit outside, take a short walk. Come back to the present. Step 6. Delay extreme decisions. Do not make life-changing decisions during panic. This method is useful because overwhelm often destroys clarity. My advice, Paul's advice, when your mind is on fire, do not ask it to become a perfect judge. Calm first. Reflect second. Part 7. How to talk to yourself in a healthier way. Many people need a new inner voice because the old inner voice sounds like punishment. So let us replace it with simple, practical, truthful lies. Instead of I am amazed, say I am in a process. Instead of I should know by now, say I am still learning. Instead of this makes me inaccessible, say this makes me human. Instead of I hate that I feel this, say I need to understand why I feel this. Instead of I must rush, say I can move carefully. Instead of no one will ever understand me, say I need the right people, not all people. This is not fake positivity. This is emotional accuracy. My suggestion, Paul's suggestion, write 5 healthy replacement sentences and keep them where you can see them. Part 18. What not to do. This part is also practical. If you want more peace, try not to do these things. 1. Do not bully yourself into clarity. Fear does not create wisdom. 2. Do not let social media define your whole identity journey. Online voices can be helpful but also noisy and extreme. 3. Do not copy someone else's timeline. Your process is your process. 4. Do not force yourself to speak before you are ready. Truth should not be forced under pressure. 5. Do not stay in total denial forever. Silence can become a cage. 6. Do not let shame become your teacher. Shame may be loud, but it is a poor guide. 7. Do not assume confusion means failure. Sometimes confusion is simply early truth. On 8. Do not think self-acceptance means you owe everyone access. Privacy is wisdom. My thought. Paul's thought. Many people make this journey harder by adding violence to it. Not physical violence, inner violence, harshness, pressure, self-hatred, fake performance, reduce the violence, clarity often follows. Part 19. What you can apply from my from me right now, from Paul right now. Let us make this very practical. Here are direct things you can use. Okay, pause. Method 1. Tell the truth in private before talking to the world. Stop lying to yourself. Pause. Method 2. Separate feeling from fear. Ask, what do I feel? What am I afraid of? Pause. Method 3. Use simple, honest language, not dramatic language, not fake language, honest language. Pause. Methods. Replace self-hate with self-observation. Observe patterns. Do not attack your humanity. Pause. 5F. Build oneself. Routine every week. Journal, reflect, breathe, and review. Pause. Method 6. Stop rushing to satisfy other people's timeline. Truth goes better in honesty than in panic. Pause. Method 7. Choose calm. Support. Not all support is wise support. Pause. Method 8. Protect your peace from cruel voices. Not every voice deserves influence. These are all usable, not theory, only practical. Part 20. Benefits the listener can receive. If you apply this honesty, what do you gain? 1. Less inner war. You stop fighting yourself every day. 2. More emotional clarity. You begin to understand what is feeling and what is fear. 3. Better self-respect. You stop speaking to yourself like I am like an enemy. 4. Better decisions. Calm reflection leads to wiser choices. 5F. Rest shame. Not always instantly but gradually. 6. Better boundaries. You stop giving the loudest people cannot over your identity. 7. More peace in private. Even before life becomes easier outside, your inside becomes less violent. 8. A stronger foundation for the future. Whether you use a label or not, honesty make life more stable. Mind's opinion, Paul's opinion. One of the greatest benefits of self-acceptance is not public confidence, it is private relief. The relief of no longer running from yourself, that is a serious kind of peace. Part 21. My view on true self-acceptance. Paul's view on true self-acceptance. My view is simple. Paul's view is simple. Self-acceptance is not about making your life look perfect. It is about ending the habit of treating yourself like a mistake. A person does not heal by constant self-attack. A person heals when truth and dignity finally meet. Truth without dignity can feel cold. Dignity without truth can feel fake. You need both. That is why Paul does not suggest panic, perform, or pressure. Paul suggests honesty, patience, reflection, self-support. wise boundaries, practical self-respect. Some people think self-acceptance means I must feel powerful every day. No. Sometimes self-acceptance is much quieter. Sometimes it is I am still scared, but I will not abandon myself. I am still learning, but I will not insult my own soul. I am not ready to explain everything, but I am ready to stop lying inside. That is strength too. Part 22. If you are still not sure who you are, let us speak to the person who still says, I still do not know. That is okay. You do not need to force a conclusion tonight. You do not need to copy someone else's answer. You do not need to punish yourself for not being finished. Try this instead. Stay honest. Keep observing patterns. Notice what feels true over time. Notice what only comes from pleasure. Give yourself language, not punishment. Find self-support. Let understanding grow. Identity questions can take time. The time is not always the enemy. Sometimes time is the space where truth becomes visible. My advice, pause advice, do not use uncertainty as an excuse to attack yourself. Use uncertainty as a reason to become more honest and more gentle. Part 23. A practical weekly plan. Here is a simple plan you can actually use. Day 1, write the truth. Write one page about what you feel and what you fear. Day 2, watch your inner language. Notice every time you insult yourself, replace it with accurate language. Day 3, observe your patterns. When do you feel most real? When do you feel most fake? Day 4, reduce noise. Take back from voices that make you panic or hate yourself. Day 5, learn calmly. Read or listen to sometimes that helps you understand identity in grounded way. Day 6, talk to one safe person if possible. If only if it feels safe and wise. Day 7, review. Ask, what did I learn this week? What could become clearer? What fear got smaller? What do I need next? This is practical. This is usable. This is how slow healing becomes real. Part 24. For the person who feels alone, there are people listening right now who feel deeply alone. Maybe you feel like no one around you understands. Maybe you have never said these thoughts out loud. Maybe you smile all day and carry these alone all night. Paul wants to say something clearly. Feeling alone does not mean you are wrong. Feeling confused does not mean you are broken. Feeling afraid does not mean you are weak. It means this matters to you. It means your heart is carrying something real. It means you need care, not cruelty. And even if you cannot solve everything today, you can begin today by telling one truth, by stopping one act of self-hatred, by writing one honest sentence, by choosing one safe voice, by refusing to call yourself a mistake. That is where many real journeys begin. Part 25F. My final thoughts. Pause. Final thoughts. Porthos is this: a person becomes stronger not when they force themselves into a shape that keeps others comfortable. A person becomes stronger when they stop betraying their own inner reality. Not every truth is easy. Not every journey is simple. Not every answer comes quickly. But peace goes when honesty begins. You do not need to become raw to become real. You do not need to become perfect to become worthy. You do not need everyone proof to stop hating yourself. You need honesty. You need patience. You need self-respect. You need wise support. And sometimes you need to stop making war with your own heart. That is the real turning point. If you are still figuring yourself out, take your time, but do not abandon the truth. If you are scared, be careful, but do not become cruel to yourself. If you are confused, reflect, but do not call yourself broken. If you are on the wrong road toward self-acceptance, remember this: you do not need to solve your whole life in one day. You only need to stop running from yourself, one honest step at a time. Okay, my closing line, Paul's closing line. The goal is not to become someone easier for the world to understand. The goal is to become someone honest enough to live in peace with yourself. Thank you very much.